The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Arctic Fantasy. The recommended customers play just $5 at Harness One's Funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome everyone to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It's currently Sunday night, October 26th, around 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm Rose Reichel, man of the podcast here with Lonte and Dylan. Time to get into Game 3 of the World Series taking place on Monday. So we are doing this a bit earlier than normal. It's fine. We had some free time. Figured why not. But either way, time to get into the breakdown of Game 3. Lonte, Dylan, how's it going? What's up?
What's going on, boys? Good to be with you. It's been a good Sunday, honestly. The Jets finally are winners, so it's good. NFL's been good to me today. How you guys doing?
Lonte, what's up with you?
Good, man. Good. Pretty good. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Good winner last night with the Dodgers. So, yeah, man, we're looking forward to today and tomorrow's action as well.
Yeah, baseball should be fun tomorrow. I know I had a great episode in Game 2. Had the first 5 under. 4 is my best bet, which got there, never in doubt. And I gave out Muncy to hit a homer at around plus 525. So that got there too. Swept the board, can't complain. Nice game there. Thought Toronto put up a bit more of a fight. It looked like they were going to jump on Yamamoto early, let him off the hook, and then Yamamoto went God mode, and at that point the game was over. But getting into briefly the thoughts on Game 2. I mean, Yamamoto was the story because he ended up having the complete game for the second straight postseason start, which has not really been done in a long time. But congrats to him. I'll let Dylan go first here. Any thoughts on how Game 2 played out? Were you surprised? Did it kind of go the way you thought it would?
I thought it kind of went the way I was thinking. Great win for Toronto winning Game 1, and then I thought the Dodgers were going to settle in. I mean, I feel like the next start for Yamamoto, we just got to take him complete game. His over outs, it was amazing. I thought Guzman pitched well too. He got into a little bit of trouble early, and then in the 7th, and then the 6th, and then that's it. I mean, I thought he did good. I thought they fought well hitting wise, but at the end of the day, the home runs killed them. But thought it was a good effort, and obviously the star was Yamamoto.
Yeah, what did you think, Lonte?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the episode. I thought that Yamamoto would go well. I thought he would have to go well because of the Dodger bullpen, and we saw that on full display in Game 1. So it went exactly how I thought it would be. I mean, I didn't think he would go a complete game, but I did think he would pitch well. He got into that trouble, but typically he's done that a couple of times, and I think he retired, the last 23 batters, 22 batters, something like that. So
something like that.
Yeah, it kind of went how I got it. Yeah, I think it went pretty much how I wanted it. I mean, how I wanted it to go, how I handicapped it to go. So I didn't really take a ton from it. Like D-Rock said, like Gosman did pitch okay, but again, I mean, once the Dodgers get rolling, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I thought that Gaussman was good too. The problem was he started to unravel a bit late. Felt like he maybe should not have been pitching to Muncy at that point. It felt like he was kind of starting to unravel anyway. In hindsight, it didn't matter at that point. I mean, you couldn't hit the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. You couldn't get anyone on base. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The Dodgers paid a lot of money for some great pitchers, and Yamamoto came through to help even up the series. But either way, now we have a 1-1 series heading back to LA. So it should be pretty fun there. I'll ask you guys, though, based on the first couple of games that played out, has your thought on the series changed at all? Or are you kind of just picking what you had beforehand, but at least we have ourselves a little bit of drama right now with it being 1-1? Dylan, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I thought it's going exactly how I thought. I thought if the Blue Jays, if they were going to win, it was going to be Game 1. Jump on the Dodgers, and that's exactly what they did. And I think the Dodgers have kind of settled in, especially with their pitching, and think offensively they're figuring some things out too with the 2 home runs last night. So, yeah, I think the Dodgers still winning. My guess is Dodgers in 6, but I do think the Blue Jays have good enough bats, and 1 through 9 have been hitting well. I think they'll force a Game 6. So, yeah, it's going the way I thought.
Yeah, I also had Dodgers in 6 personally. I did misspeak, though, when I did the preview because I forgot that the Blue Jays did have home field. So I meant to say the Dodgers would win Game 6 on the road to win the World Series, but I also had Dodgers in 6. Lonte, I'll ask you, for the sake of the series so far, you surprised at all, or 1-1 heading back to LA, kind of what you expected going in?
Yeah, I expected a back and forth series, but I think in the end the Dodgers will just have too much for them. Not much as offense because Toronto can go with them. You know, they can hit the ball pretty well. Their offense is one of the strengths and has been one of the better offenses in the league. But I just don't think they have enough arms and enough starting arms, that is, to contend. So I thought it would be 1-1 going back to LA, and I think the Dodgers will end up pulling away in 5 or 6, just depending upon how the response is for Toronto after that loss.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how they look in Game 3. I think the off day, of course, with travel does help. And we've seen throughout the postseason, especially for Game 1 and Game 2 of this series, momentum not really a thing in postseason baseball. So we'll see what happens. But either way, nice job by the Dodgers to even up the series, and we'll go forward from there. So before we get into the thoughts for Game 3, I actually want to ask quickly, just to kind of switch gears a little bit, for the actual World Series MVP. Just going to briefly mention it. I don't know who you guys thought might win it before the series. Is there anybody, if you had to pick one person to bet on now, mid-series, is there one person you would pick to win World Series MVP? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was either gonna say him or Will Smith. Honestly,
I think that's kind of what I have too.
Will-
I mean, Smith has had a
Will
good
Smith
series
is
so
good.
far. He hit the more important home run. I know Muncy had a home run after, but Smith did break the tie in that game. So that would be my
I just
two
worry
choices
if
too.
Yamamoto, if he has another solid start, even if he goes 7-8 scoreless and they win, yeah, I think he might get it.
I mean, it depends how long the series goes when it comes to
Yeah.
pitchers, because you're looking at him probably pitching Game 5 as well, if I had to
Mhm.
guess. So he's going for 2 and 5, and if it goes 7, he's coming out of the bullpen. So it depends how long the series actually goes. If the Dodgers win in 5, let's say the Dodgers do end up winning the next 3 games in LA, and Yamamoto pitches a gem in the closeout game, and no batter just goes crazy and just has insane numbers, it probably does go to him. But if it ends up going a bit longer and Yamamoto ends up maybe not pitching in a closeout game, etc., maybe he ends up not getting it. But I do think Yamamoto, I actually bet live midway through Game 2. I think it was the 7th inning. I got him at about 18-1, and now he's down to
Nice.
10-1. So I got a good
Nice.
number there. You could tell as the game was going on, Toronto just had no chance against him. And and especially after Game 1, Roberts was not going to the bullpen. So I kind of just expected the complete game, and we got it. So I'll take the 18-1 in my back pocket. But was it surprising at all that Bichette didn't play Game 2 for you guys?
I was confused after having a pretty good game for not
Yeah, I was
playing
confused
for
a
over
little.
a month. I thought it was kind of strange that he didn't play Game 2. Do you know why? It was coaching decision.
It was just a coaching decision, but I wasn't sure if it was based on some injury. He got pinch run for, I believe, in the middle of Game 1, which made sense because it was a very close game. It was coincidentally the inning where Toronto scored 9 runs, so it worked out in the end. I did think it was weird. I figured even with the offense doing absolutely nothing for the entire game, even a pinch hit spot,
Yeah.
you might want to get one of the guys that tends to lead the league in hits to base when none of your players can get on base for about 6 straight innings. I kind of thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
I have to look it up if there was any injury news, but him not even appearing in the game as a pinch hitter when their team did nothing for the final 8 innings, I thought was shocking.
It was worth it was worth his shot, and he did play a little bit in Game 1, so thought it was weird, and he got a hit. I mean, he did everything you could ask for not playing for over a month. So yeah, no answer for Yamamoto. It was worth a shot, at least in the 7th or 8th inning.
Yeah, Lonte, I'm assuming you agree that Bichette should have at
I
least had
agree.
an appearance of some
I was
kind in that
confused.
game.
Yeah, I was totally confused.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I assumed like D-Rock that it was an injury or he just wasn't feeling it that day. So maybe that I can understand. They just didn't, want it out. But yeah, it didn't. It would confuse me as well.
Yeah, I looked it up. It said that for anything in Game 2. I didn't see any updates on the knee injury. So maybe it was swelling up. They didn't want to talk about it, and they ended up just sitting him. But even Bichette on 1.5 legs, I would probably take him over a couple of batters that we saw against Yamamoto yesterday because nobody had a chance the entire game. I mean, Vlad had that massive double, or single, somehow off the wall was a single. He hit it like 114 miles per hour. And then at that point, nobody did anything the entire game. So for about 2 straight hours, it was just 3 outs for the entire lineup. I thought Bichette should have appeared at some point in Game 2. We'll see if he plays in Game 3. I'm assuming he will because there's an off day and you really could use the offense. I'll put it that way. But anyway, I kind of wanted to mention that before I forgot that Bichette not playing at all, I thought was kind of weird. And I'm glad I'm not alone. And both of you seem to agree with me on that point. Anyway, also want to remind everyone once again, though, that you can also check out other shows on the network. The NBA did tip off this past week. Make sure to check out the NBA Gambling Podcast with daily picks. And it's a reminder that you can also find all of our lock and dog picks at the end of the show there. Check out the NBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you do get your podcast. So, looking at Game 3 of the World Series. Now, for this one, you're looking at a pitching matchup between Scherzer and Glasnow. Dodgers are massive favorites, minus 185. You have Toronto at around plus 160. For the over-under, I see 8.5. So I'm going to I'll let Lonte go first for the game breakdown. First of all, are you surprised that Scherzer is getting Game 3 as opposed to surprised that Scherzer's getting Game 3 for Toronto? We'll start there.
Which is why I like the Dodgers minus 1.5 even more. I don't trust Scherzer to go on the road against this lineup. Obviously, home field to me doesn't really mean as much in the regular season, but in the postseason, especially World Series, I think it means a lot. And the Dodgers have one of the best playoff home field advantages. I mean, I think outside of maybe the Phillies, Toronto's been good as well, but I think they're right up there among the best home fields of any team. So, I mean, I can't see Scherzer pitching well, man. I really can't. Not against this lineup. I mean, Mookie was hitless yesterday. Freeman was hitless in Game 1. So still, it's still some things that I'm looking for in the top of the lineup. Ohtani has been up and down, mostly down in the series so far. The middle to the end of their lineup has been really good. So if they can just get a little bit more from the top of the lineup,
there's one guy. There's one guy who's been absolutely atrocious in the entire series. Do you want to guess who I'm referring to?
I would guess who's been bad. Who's been bad? Who's been really bad?
He's been absolutely horrible.
Horrible. I don't know. D-Rock, I don't know. Oh, Teoscar. Oh,
it's Teoscar.
Okay.
Teoscar's but I mean, been absolutely useless at the plate.
Yeah, I trust him though. I trust him to get things.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I have to point out Teoscar did go 0 for 4 with 4 Ks in Game 2. He has been pretty awful so far in the series. And we know, of course, he can hit the big home run, which is why he keeps playing. But he's got to get it together. Yeah. But the rest of the lineup has been good. Smith has been solid. Muncy had the home run. Even Pa has got on base, and his batting average is 100 in the postseason. At least he got on base. But yeah, Teoscar's been terrible. So I wanted to mention that. But I think I agree with you, though.
TK's been good.
TK's been fine, yeah. But the point is, I was asking about Scherzer because I think all of us would agree Glasnow is obviously the better pitcher. And I know that there's more to picking baseball games solely than who's starting the game. But Scherzer, I get you needed Game 2. Or you actually didn't really need Game 2 because you ended up winning Game 1. I'm a bit surprised they decided to let Scherzer go on the road. Unless the argument is he has postseason experience and he also used to pitch for the Dodgers, so he's more experienced in that building than Gausman. But Scherzer had one pretty decent outing against the Mariners. I still don't trust him at all for the sake of this matchup. Is it just as simple as Glasnow is better than Scherzer? We're all taking the Dodgers. Dylan, are you taking the Dodgers in this game?
Well, real quick, I wanted to mention, because I know you asked Lonte. I could understand. I thought they were going to go Shane Bieber, to be honest, for Game 3. But I'm not totally surprised. I mean, you did mention it. I didn't really remember him back in 2012 with Detroit. But the 2 stints he had, or the 1 year in 2019 with the Nationals, I thought he pitched pretty well in the World Series. So I kind of get it. I feel like I'm saying away. I feel like they priced it around where my number is. I made the Dodgers a minus 180 favorite. I kind of like the total over 7.5. My total came out to 7.9. To be honest, I like the first 5 team totals over as well. Blue Jays over 1.5, minus 105. Dodgers minus 2.5. It's at plus money as well. So that's kind of where I'm going here. Glasnow, he hasn't been really good. He has been good. 1 run, 13 innings, in the postseason. But he did play the Blue Jays back in early August, and he did give up 2 runs. So that would have cleared this number as well. And Max Scherzer, I just mentioned. You mentioned that he had that one start against Seattle. He did give up 2 runs, 5 innings. So, but in general, he struggled on the road. So I think both teams will come out aggressive. I'm going to fade both pitchers here, and I'm going to take the over, and I like the team totals over as well.
Yeah, so I was going to mention Scherzer, by the way, did make one postseason appearance so far. Randomly good. Went 5 2/3, gave up 2 runs against Seattle. He had to, dodge some trouble. He did allow 3 hits and 4 walks, so he didn't exactly pitch that well. But he got through. They gave him a good outing that they needed in that series. But Glasnow has been incredible, so I do think you're looking at a spot where Glasnow should, in my opinion, keep going well. His ERA is .68. He's back at home. Think he'll look sharp here, but the question is, I'll put it this way. How many runs do the Blue Jays need to score in Game 3 for you to feel good about their chances of winning this game? Knowing Scherzer's
4 to
pitching.
5.
You say 5?
4 to 5.
Okay.
5.
And
4 to 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go 5 as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming that we are not picking the Blue Jays to get to 5 in this game. Correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
there's like a
I got it.
20% chance.
Yeah,
I got
okay,
6-3
so
Dodgers.
Okay, there you go. So both of you like the over. I think I agree about the over, simply put. Maybe Dodgers. I thought I'm maybe going for a first 5-team total over because I don't really trust Scherzer at all. We'll mention player props in a second. Yeah, we'll mention player props in a second, but I did think about that potentially because Scherzer, I think, is going to get into some trouble in this outing. Dodgers finally got some contributions from guys not named Ohtani. I mentioned in the last episode the Dodgers offense was kind of really just average. And then Ohtani had the 2-run homer late in the Game 1 blowout, which didn't matter, but they only had 2 runs before that. So the offense no-showed that game. Then you got some key hits. I mean, the offense looked the same for about 6 innings. And then Smith hit the homer, Muncy hit the homer, then Hoffman, things happened in the 9th inning. And then the Dodgers scored a couple more runs. But the point is, I do think that the Dodgers offense should do well against Scherzer. They've seen him before. Because he's been around for so long. I think he'll go okay. Toronto's bullpen hasn't exactly been great this postseason. I mean, the Dodgers, of course, have not either. So this game could easily go off the rails like it did in Game 1. And you might end up getting a game that is maybe even like 2-1 in the 6th inning. And then suddenly the game explodes and you end up getting over the number. I like the over with you guys. I do think that 7.5 does feel like a number that is, in my opinion, fair. I do see some 8.5 though at even money, so the line has kind of gone up a little bit, but you can still find a 7.5 or an 8 if you want to shopping around. I'm going to take that. I do think that the total is pretty appealing, especially for this price. So I'll go for the over with you. I know Lonte mentioned the run line for the Dodgers in this game. Dylan, I'll ask you, any thoughts on the run line? You want to take the -1.5 at +115? Any thoughts there for the side?
Yeah, I probably would take them. If you could get plus money, last time I checked, it was like +110. Is that still where it stands right now? Dodgers.
Yes, I see +110. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would take that. I needed a +100 or better. So any plus money, I would take the Dodgers here on the run line. I just think in the first 5, it might be competitive, but once the bullpen comes in, like you mentioned, I think it could go off the rails, especially in LA. So yeah, I probably would take them. If you could still get +110, yeah, give me a Dodgers run line.
Yeah, so we're going to get into player props in a second, but for the sake of side and totals only, it sounds like we agree on everything. We're just taking the Dodgers against Scherzer, and we're picking a high-scoring game. Does that sound accurate to you guys? That's what I'm
very
hearing.
accurate.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. So not really that
Congrats
much
to
of a
Toronto.
debate. Yeah, not really much of a debate here, but Scherzer, look, we think that there are a couple of ways this can go poorly. I understand that he's a future Hall of Famer, obviously, and maybe he finds a way to pitch well again, but in LA, I think there's a better chance of him struggling. And Glasnow has been a machine. So I'll go for the Dodgers with you guys for the run line and the over in the game. Anyway, before we get into some player props for the game, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Book.ag. Using to bet on football. They have baseball, they have basketball, hockey, tennis, and a reminder, they have a prop builder second to none. Model simple. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime. Use crypto for funding your account for getting nice payouts. And a reminder, when you actually sign up at MyBook.ag, use the code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus. It's 100% for customers. Book.ag promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, which is the number one prediction market for sports in America. Get some great prices, reduced juice on different bets that you can find on there. It's also available in a bunch of states, 35 plus, so make sure it's available in your state. Download the app. When you do so, you'll get $50 when you spend just $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get an extra Novig promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through our thoughts for the side in total for Game 3. Time to move on into the player props that we have for Game 3. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What is going to be one player prop or one guy you are targeting in general to play well or poorly in Game 3?
Yeah, I'm going back to the well with this one. It hit his first 2 games of this series, 9 of his last 10 playoff games. George Springer over 1.5 HRR at minus 103. It's an insane price for a guy who's averaging 3 hits, runs, and RBIs in his last 10. The only game he didn't go over was Game 6 versus Seattle, but he continues to lead off the game aggressive at the plate. He has 14 hits this postseason and only 3 games where he was hitless. And, with guys behind him doing well, he's also scored a run in 8 of his last 10 games. He's 1-3 versus Glass now as well. He has a single. So I think he stays hot at the top of the lineup. Minus 103 is an insane price for me. So I'm going to go back to the well with that one.
All right. Lonte, who do you like for Game 3?
Yeah, it didn't get on with the home run yesterday, but the total bases got and hits, runs, RBIs got this. But I'm going Freddie Freeman. I'm going right back to the well with him. Same mindset with D-Rock. I mean, I thought he broke out of a slump a little bit. He had that double out of the gate. Or was it the second at bat? I can't remember. He had in one of his first 2 hits. He had a double. Yeah. So I thought he hit the ball. I thought he was hitting the ball really well. And I do think he can pitch. I think he can have success against Scherzer. So I like the top of that lineup to do a lot of damage early on. So give me Freddie Freeman, hits, runs.
All right. For me, I'm going to go to one of the plays I mentioned last episode, which got there. It's been cashing regularly the postseason. I know it involves fading Glass now to some degree, but just give me Clement single at minus 105. Like, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. The guy's been great the entire postseason. Slap, contact hitter. Good enough for me. He had another one, obviously, in Game 1. Had another one in Game 2. I mean, Clement is just an absolute machine when it comes to hitting singles. So give me Clement's single here. He's had one in 7 of the last 8 games. Good enough for me. I'll go for him there. Thinking of who I want to actually fade Scherzer with, because I want to go for a specific batter in the matchup, but I'm wondering who I want to go with, because Betts is 3 for 10 a lifetime. Freeman has 3 home runs, but he's only a 200 batting average against him. Just a lot of plate appearances. Teoscar's 1 for 7 with 5 Ks. I might want to keep fading Teoscar, to be honest, because he has been so lost on every off-speed pitch low in the zone, or even below the zone. He's swinging at everything. So I don't mind fading Teoscar. A reminder, he also gets lifted for either a pinch runner or a pinch fielder at various points in the game. But I can get Teoscar no hits at plus 145, which I think is a good price. I understand Scherzer, we know, might struggle, but said a second ago, Teoscar is only 1 for 7 lifetime against him with 2 walks. So 1 to 9 plate appearances. But Teoscar, who struck out 4 times in Game 2, no hits plus 145. Sign me up. I like the price there, so I'll fade him. Anybody you want to fade for Game 3?
Yeah, Kike Hernandez. I know you guys mentioned him at the top, but I'll fade him not to get a hit. And you can get that at plus money. You could get it at even money. I mean, coming into this World Series, I mean, he went hitless in Game 6. 3 and 4, for the Brewers. He only had 1 hit in Game 1. Then he had on Saturday night 0 hits. So you can get that at plus money. He's 0-2 versus Max Scherzer with 2 strikeouts. So I think that's a good look as well, plus money.
All right. Anybody that you're willing to fade Lonte? It could involve Scherzer. You could just fade him if you want to.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're looking for, like total runs. I mean total earned runs over, under on the total outs. I think they'll get to the bullpen really early, and he'll get pulled early on. And I think basically his threshold for how good he has to be he's gonna be on a short leash. 1 or 2 early, and if he gets in trouble early, I think he's yanked. So I'm looking to fade Scherzer here.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Looking at the actual Scherzer options, by the way, just to read some of those off. So Scherzer is set at 11.5 outs. So once again, they're not expecting a long outing here. The earned runs are at 2.5. The strikeouts are at 4.5. And the hits allowed are at 4.5. It is pretty tricky when the odds makers are projecting less than 4 full innings of work to start going for earned runs and stuff like that, because you're getting a small sample associated with it. Yeah. If you had to pick one of those props to actually fade Scherzer with Lonte, which one would you pick? The strikeouts under, the hits over, the outs under, or the earned runs over?
I would pick the earned runs over, just because I think the Dodgers offense will wake up, especially at the top of the lineup. If they got to get some kind of consistency at the top with Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, just like in sync, I think they'll score 2 to 3 runs early on. So I like his earned runs over.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, once again, we're expecting Scherzer to struggle against this lineup, so I can get behind that. But I feel like that would be whether you want the earned runs or if you want just the Dodgers' first 5 team total, because you might
It's
not
correlated.
see Scherzer pitch.
Yeah,
It's correlated, but you also get more out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there is a chance where Scherzer actually goes under this because he only goes 4 innings, and then maybe the Dodgers wake up in the 5th and suddenly Scherzer is off the hook, but the Dodgers still get there. So that could be an option instead. But I'll ask for player props. Anybody else you guys want to target, either for good or bad?
No, but I do have a home run play, so we'll get to that in a little.
Yeah, look at you. You're suddenly excited about home run plays.
Yeah,
You're so anti the
exactly.
entire season. They're finally willing to commit. Lonte, anybody else?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Yeah, I think we hit it all.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I personally want. I thought about maybe going for Betts, but he hasn't really been that great recently. Is there anybody else I want? Vlad single's expensive. It's at -125, so I think I'm going to pass on that. I am going to mention one play, though, and it does go well with Toronto because they work counts very well. I'm going to take Glasnow walks at over 1.5 at -109. He's been very good at limiting actual damage in the postseason, but he's been walking people. He's had 3 walks in his first 2 postseason starts. So I do want to point out he has walked at least 2 people in 5 of the last 6, and he's walked at least 3 people in 4 of the last 5. And we know Toronto can work a bunch of counts. They're not going to give you many free outs. I think the walks are worth something. And we know with this bullpen being terrible, Roberts might give Glasnow as well a longer leash because he doesn't trust anybody in that bullpen. Yeah. So I like the Glasnow walks at 1.5 at -109.
Yeah, I like that because I was looking at Bo Bichette if he starts, which I think all 3 of us do. Bo Bichette to record the walk at +292. He already has 2 walks off of Glasnow as well.
The only pushback I'll give you there is if he gets lifted for a pinch runner at some point, you might have a shortened outing for Bichette, which could be a problem. But I don't know if you'd rather take that plate appearance by plate appearance, and maybe you could actually do like half unit on one, half unit on the second one, because I'm not sure if he's going to get a third one. We'll see what happens, but either way, just a thought I like for a pitching prop. I think Glasnow walks is being slept on as a prop here for Game 3. Anyway, before we get into the best bets and I know Dylan can't wait to give it out, the home run picks for Game 3. Before we get into that, the reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, Arnold Fantasy. Play Fans Pick'em, chance 500 times your entry, pick higher or lower on player stats. So you can do baseball, you can do hockey, basketball, different sports. You can mix and match. That's fine with your entries. But a reminder, they have a new offer for new customers. Play just $5, get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They're up to a great start in college football and NFL with picks and props. Giving away cash prizes every week just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type of model that you built, and you can win $1K. And a reminder, use the promo code SGPN25 or download the app. You get a quarter off first month. Download once again, promo code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finish going through the thoughts that we have for Game 3. Time to move on into the best bet segment. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your best bet for Game 3?
I'm going to do the team total over for the Dodgers at 2.5. You get that at plus money.
That's first 5, by the way.
With first 5. First 5 team total over. I just think they're going to come aggressive at the plate. I'm not banking on Max Scherzer to have one solid start on the road against Seattle. So I think the Dodgers are a different beast. I think they're going to eventually get to them. So, yeah, I'll take over 2.5 first 5 team total for the Dodgers as my best bet.
All right. Lonte, what do you like as your best bet?
Yeah, that was going to be mine. So I'm going to take I'm going to repeat a play from yesterday's episode or 2 days ago, whatever it was. I'm going to take Glasnow to record the win at plus money. That's another way of basically getting the Dodgers to win. You talked about it, Scott. I think Glasnow will be relied upon heavily. He'll go deeper into the game to kind of alleviate the bullpen as much as you can until you absolutely have to use them. So I'm gonna take Glasnow to get a win. I'll get a price. I'll get a price on that while you give your best bet, Scott, and I'll come back to it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Glasnow as well. Even though I do think that the Dodgers should win this game, I really like that walks play at -109. I'm gonna take that for Glasnow. I'm looking at the numbers for Toronto, and their walk rate's not that bad against Glass now. They've seen him a decent amount, 113 plate appearances, 13 walks. Not too bad. They have a couple of guys who have walked a couple of times. Bichette has 3, Vlad has 4, even Heineman has 1, Kirk has 1, Schneider has 1, Springer has 1, Varsha has 2. Decent amount of guys have walks against Glass now, and he has walked 3 in his first 2 postseason outings. So even though the ERA is good, there has been some traffic on the base paths, and we saw the Blue Jays work counts all season. It's what they're really good at. I think Glass now walks at least 2 guys in what could be 6 innings because they really need him to go length anyway. So Glass now could actually shove, like he has done so far this postseason, and just walk 2 guys, and I win anyway. So I think there's a couple ways to get there, but I like the price. So I'll go for Glass now over 1.5 walks as my best bet at -109. Lonte, did you find a price for the win for Glass now in the game?
Yeah, so I see it at +165. That's a good price.
There you go.
It's a great price.
Good price for your best bet. All right, moving on. Since Dylan has been wanting to give this out for 20 minutes, Dylan, what's going to be your home run pick for Game 3?
I am going to go with Lonte's boy, Freddie Freeman, at +400. I know he hasn't had the best World Series, but I think, like Lonte said, watching the game yesterday, it looked like he was swinging the bat well, and I feel like he just missed a home run a few times popping out. I mean, he's only hitting 143 off of Scherzer, but he does have a home run off of him, and I just think he's going to get a hold of one tomorrow. I thought he swung the bat well yesterday. So, yeah, +400, I'll take a swing on Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, from what I remember, Freeman had a hit in his first at bat, and then he had good contact flyouts, I think, in his next 2 or 3 plate appearances. So he didn't get the home run, but he was a couple feet away a couple of times. So the swings were definitely there. We'll see if that continues there in Game 3. Lonte, I know you were about to give out Freeman before Dylan stole it. So who do you want to go with instead?
No, but I'll be betting that on my own. But I'm going with Mookie Betts. I think Mookie bounces back at home. He's been kind of up and down, but his numbers aren't great against Scherzer. But I do think he shows up in a big game. This is a big game. He's been showing up in big games since he's been in Boston. So I'm going to take him to hit. That's around the same price, like for.
Oh, sorry. You can continue. Sorry about that.
I think it's around 4-1 as well, or close to it, like 375. It's all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah, so I was looking at Glass now because I was wondering if I wanted to go against him. Fun fact, Glass now has not allowed a single home run since August 30th. 0 home runs. So I can't fade him when it comes to home runs allowed because he doesn't give up any. So I got to fade Scherzer in some capacity. The question is, who do I want to fade him with? That's really the only remaining question that I have. So the thing is, do I want to go for the head-to-head numbers or do I want to go for the hot hand and just pick somebody that has been really good so far in the series? Because I thought about Will Smith because he's been good. I mean, Muncy's seen him a lot. Muncy does have a home run, but I just picked him for Game 2. Am I really picking him to go hit a home run in back-to-back games? You know what? I am going to do it because why not? I got to pick somebody. So I'll go for Muncy. That is available at +418. Why not? I picked him to be World Series MVP as one of my choices there with Adam. So I think Muncy was going to have a decent series anyway. He's been to many World Series before. He came through in Game 2. I think he'll look sharp here. We know that the right field can be a pretty solid destination for lefty power hitters, and I do think it could benefit Muncy. So give me Muncy again to hit a home run at +418 in Game 3. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Anything else you guys want to add before we officially end the show and get ready to watch Game 3?
No, just enjoy the game. Should be a good one. Atmosphere should be good in LA, and good luck on all your bets.
Sure.
Yep. Lonte,
Yes, sir.
anything else you want to add?
Echo those same sentiments that D-Rock just said.
Yep, cool. All right. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. A reminder that our Twitter handles are right below our pictures here, but if you're listening to it on Spotify or Apple and you can't see that, so Lonte could find at XXLonteXX. You find me on Twitter at Reichel Radio. Find him, Dylan, to my right on Twitter at Rock with 2Ks24. Till next time, a good luck.